What's up everyone, Mo here with Brute Force Training. I'm going to take you through your mobility and active warm-up. Now there are a couple of things I want you to understand as you go through this, and really anytime you do a warm-up. You're going to see that this is going to be the warm-up that you will do for all of your Sandwods, and that is really by design. Listen, I've been doing this a very long time, and what you're about to go through is basically what I do for every workout, regardless of what it is. Sandbag, barbell, running, whatever. We're going to hit everything you need to hit in this warm-up to get you ready for movement. With that being said, we have a couple rules with this. Number one, make sure you breathe when you're going through these movements. Don't rush through it. Everybody wants to rush the warm-up and get to the workout. Well, if and when you do the warm-up correctly, it actually starts to feel like the workout. So take your time, breathe, do not hold your breath, because holding your breath actually makes you tighter. Just be observant of your body. Find out what areas are tight, what areas feel like they may need a little bit more attention, and spend some time there. Now, when we're doing this as well, don't worry about doing the range of motion that I do. Go through whatever range of motion feels comfortable for you. You should feel no pain. You should feel no discomfort. We're trying to open up and move the body, lubricate the joints, and get you ready for movement and action, okay? So, with that being said, let's get started. So what we're going to start out and we're going to do a glute bridge. And this is very important because we need to open up the hips. So what I'm going to do is I'm lying down on my back. I'm tucking my heels into as close to my hips as I can. And then what I'm going to do is take my upper body, my palms face up, and then my action is I'm going to squeeze my butt. I'm squeezing my glutes, and I'm driving through the heels of my feet. And one of the things I'll do to make sure I'm driving through the heels and not the toes or balls of my feet is I like to pull my toes up off the ground. So what I do is I squeeze my butt and I drive through my heels, elevating myself up into this plank position. When I do this at the same time, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and pulling them towards my back pockets. So this opens up my chest as well. Now, when I'm doing this, this is optimal position. This is a bilateral glute bridge. I drop down to my hips, just touch the ground, and then squeeze and come back up. It's not fast. I'm not popping the air. I'm doing it nice and controlled. If you feel anything in your low back while you do this, all that's telling you is that your glutes aren't strong enough yet to bring you up to this position. So find out whatever position you can go to without feeling your low back and then start there, but make sure you're squeezing your glutes. So you'll do 8 repetitions with both feet or bilateral, then you'll straighten one leg, and then you'll drive up doing the exact same thing for 8 reps. As soon as you're complete with that side, do the other side. And what you'll probably notice is that one side is a lot easier than the other. Pay attention to that because that's an imbalance. We want to make sure we're working on that. So 8 bilateral, 8 on each side. As soon as we're done with that, we're going to go into a hurdle stretch with a twist. So I'm going to show you from the side first. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to have your knee stacked over your ankle. Here's what's not acceptable. On the ball of my foot, heels up, and I'm just trying to get through this range of motion. This might be enough for you where this feels really tight and you feel a stretch here. If that's where you are, cool, be right there. We're going to keep our hands inside, so I'll show you from this direction now. So my foot is at a 90-degree angle, back foot just resting on the top of my foot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a breath in. As I exhale, I'm taking this inside elbow and dropping it towards the ground as much as I can. And you can see right now, my elbow is not quite going there right now, and that's fine. But I find a spot where I feel tension in my adductor and hamstring, take another breath, and then I rotate my thoracic spine looking at the palm of my hand, my thumb facing backwards, and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. Now I'm opening up all my hips, opening up my spine. Then I drop back down and repeat. So you'll do all the reps on one side and then you'll go all the reps on the other, opening up the hips and getting you ready for what we're about to do next, which is our deep squat reach. And this is one of my favorites. So what I do from here, hip width stance, maybe a little wider if you want to. Imagine you're holding a ball here, and I'm going to show you from the side first. So what I do is I sit down as deep as I can to a squat without rounding my back. So what I want to do is keep my chin neutral, my spine neutral, and you might see a little dip in my hip, the bottom, that little butt wink, and that's fine. But I squeeze my shoulder blades together, squeeze that ball between my hands. Then I stand up, driving through my heels, squeeze my glutes, and open my body up. Then stay back down, and then back up. If I'm doing 10 reps of this, or if I'm doing 8 reps of this, the first half are going to be nice and easy, and I'm just kind of just hanging out down here at the bottom, and then I'll start to move a little bit to get my heart rate up. As soon as we're done with that, we're gonna stay standing and we're gonna do an I, a T, and an A. So basically we're making letters. So with feet hip width apart, palms facing each other, thumbs are up. What I'm gonna do is reach up and make the letter I. Now what I'm trying to do with this, if you'll see from the side, this is not where I wanna be. Thinking like a press overhead. I would like to get my biceps either behind or as close to my ears as possible. So this is where I wanna end up with a Y. Reaching up, elevating my shoulders. Then I come down and make the letter T. From here, watch my shoulders. I drop my shoulders, squeezing my shoulder blades into my back pockets, come to the letter T. Now watch from the side. I squeeze my shoulders, my shoulder blades behind me and down. So it's I, elevate, T, drop. And then from here, I make the letter A. So same thing, palms, thumbs are pointing behind me, palms are out, pinkies towards my front, and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together like I'm trying to pull them back even more and pulling my fingers towards the ground. So in real time, it would be okay? Make sure when you do this, you don't overarch your back, keep your glutes nice and tight as well. As soon as you complete with that, we're gonna go into a hand release push-up. A couple different ways you can do this. The reason we're doing a hand release push-up is to open up the chest and open up the front of the shoulders. So I'm gonna show you the beginner's version of this is just gonna be kneeling. So I'm dropping down all the way, chest touches the ground. I squeeze my shoulder blades together, pulling my hands off the ground, pushing back down, and then I squeeze my glutes, flex my quads, tighten my core, press all the way up, watch my shoulders. I round my shoulders forward. Down, squeeze, press, up. You wanna elevate that, standard hand release push-up, down, squeeze, press, all the way up. And then as soon as we're done with that, we're gonna finish with a scorpion. And with this, we're gonna do an optional pec opener. So with a scorpion, hands are out in that T position again. And I'm gonna take my right foot and I'm gonna try to touch it to this left hand, wherever I can without feeling any tension in my back. So I'm squeezing my glute, bringing it over, and I'm opening up this hip, getting rotational opening through my trunk, and also opening up this left side pec and shoulder. Now if I want to, and I can take this opposite hand and reach up, just like we did with that hurdle twist. Hold for a second, bring back down, and then go to the other side. And you're gonna roll through that 3 times, 4 times, whatever you want. And if there's anything that feels tight, if you're like, man, I really wanna do this too, do that. Your warm-up is really whatever you need and want it to be. Stick with these, build from there, okay? Do these, get your body moving. You can also use these in your active recovery days. This is exactly what you need to get started.